The Sikkuy Organization for the Advancement of Civic Equality in Israel, along with Lapid, held a conference this week to examine government compliance with Or Commission recommendations. Joining me now in the studio to discuss the findings is Sikkuy activist and former head of the Civil Service Commission, Hebrew University Professor Itzhak Galnoor. Professor Galnoor, thank you for coming in this evening. The government committee headed by Minister Lapid says they will move forward to correct the inequalities that exist today. What will be the role of Sikkuy?
Well, Sikkuy has established an implementation watch committee, and we are going to look into, first of all, the OR recommendations, which are very broad and try to encompass most of the aspects of the problems and the inequality within the Israeli Arab sector. And we are not very happy with the Lapid committee way of looking at it, because they really didn't grasp the totality of the problem. And they've made some recommendations, some of them, I would say, on the cosmetic side. But nevertheless, there are some recommendations, so we are going to look into the positive parts, and we are going to also to see if those recommendations are going to be implemented.
What are the main areas that need correcting, and has there been any progress so far?
The main areas are almost any aspect. I mean, so let me single out a few ones which we think are the most important, and the areas that Sikkuy is going to press. Number one on the list is, of course, land and housing. Situation in the Arab sector, in the Arab villages, in the Arab neighborhoods is something which the State of Israel should be ashamed. And I'm saying this with great regret. And I'm quoting the Or Commission. I'm not saying anything that is new, and I invite anyone to go and see. So this is an area in which the Lapid committee did mention, and they recognized the problem, but they didn't say anything. They didn't mention budget, they didn't mention. So this is something which we are going to look very closely. Second in importance is the whole area of education. We know the results of the problems, the inferiority of schools in these villages and in the neighborhoods. This would require money. It's not just enough to say there is a problem. So this is the second area in which our committee, which by the way is composed of people with experience, it's not an academic committee. We try to find people who were in the government, Director Generals of ministries, such as the Director General of the Prime Minister Office, Yossi Kuchik, ex-ambassadors and so on, so people who know a little bit about implementation, because I don't have to tell you that this is not the first report.
That really was kind of my next question. You were head of the Civil Service Commission. You know how the government works.
Yes.
Realistically, can we expect much progress?
I hate to say that if the fate of this report, as I said, this report is very partial, is going to be as the previous report, then we don't have much to hope, particularly since it didn't say much. However, this time we have a backing of an investigation committee, which was appointed by the previous government. So this government, I think, should really take up the recommendation, take up the plans, take up the promises to invest money. And I really think that given this background, this time we have a better chance. And it's up to us, and this is why people like myself taken the opportunity, and with the push of the Sikkuy organization, I hope we're going to do it.
Professor Galnoor, we wish you luck in your endeavor, and thank you for coming in this evening.